G'day, Chiefs. Welcome to the Inner Chief Podcast, episode 300. Unbelievable. I cannot believe we're here after around about 6 years. We took over to 300 episodes. I'm a little bit grayer. I now live in a new part of the country. There's a few more books behind me, a few more scars, a few more lessons, a few more learnings, and certainly another whole big bunch of CEOs and chiefs and gurus that I've spent a lot of time with to try and bring out the learnings and the wisdom. And what I wanted to share with you today is 5 mindsets of CEOs and chiefs that perhaps we haven't spoken about as much on the show previously. These 5 mindsets, not necessarily all the chiefs demonstrate these all of the time. We're not pretending as though they're flawless. And I thought maybe that is one of the great things we have learned about CEOs and chiefs over the years, is they just come in all colours of the rainbow, on every flavour of the Lifesaver packet. There's such a really diverse group of people, just to demonstrate and show to you that there is no one way. There's many, many ways to become a great chief. And remember that our definition of a true chief is not necessarily that you're in a CEO role. It's actually that you have found your level, the kind of role that is right for you, that is aligned to your values, that allows you to demonstrate your skill and achieve a level of mastery, that you lean into this career a bit. If you're at work, you might as well do a good job and achieve a level of mastery. So, Chief, the 5 new mindsets, the kind of mindsets we haven't spoken about too much over the years, are as follows. Right, first and foremost is absolutely just strap in and get something done. Take a risk and do something. This is really at the core of a lot of chiefs, is they bring in to themselves and take this ownership of the challenge at hand. They take a risk and get strategic shit done. And that is what's got to be on your plate. If you're cruising, or if you think back over the last 6 to 12 months, even several years, ask yourself, in the cold hard light of day, have I done something? Have I taken a risk, done a new project, made a big change, done something? Or have I really not turned the needle at all? And that is a really important piece, Chief, because a lot of you will be familiar with our GREAT method, which stands for career game plan, routines, entourage, assets, and the final thing is track record, Chief. You have to build a track record. There is nothing more powerful for your reputation, for the pride in your work, than having a bulletproof track record. So get it done, Chief. Get strategic shit done. Number 2, and this is a really common one because I've been asking CEOs now for several years, is what is your advice to someone who is saying that they don't have enough time to work on the business? And you know what? I've looked at all the answers over the years now, and it just comes down to one thing. You've got to own your own time. You've got to own your own calendar. It is not good enough to sit there and say, I'm so busy with all the operational things that I can't work on the business. If you don't own your time, if you don't own your calendar, then who does? Who is in charge of your time if not you? Chief, this is one of the most important traits of all true chiefs. Take ownership of your time. And that means sitting down and casting your mind over the week and the month ahead of you and asking yourself, how much time have I set aside? How many meetings am I going to that are going to work on the business? They're going to shift the strategic dial. Chief, if you don't have that in place, then go to chiefmaker.com/operating rhythm, and there is a downloadable there that has an operating rhythm template for you. That is really, really important. Get that done, because when you can do that and you get that ownership of time and the right operating rhythm in place for you and your team, then what we get is that first mindset piece, right? Which was, as always, get strategic shit done. Take a risk, Chief. Take a risk and be bold and do something great. Okay, Chief, the third one, and this has certainly been one that I've had to use a hell of a lot over the last 3 years, is just this grit. this ability to just get back on the horse. And if you've had a few knocks, or you've had a sustained, really difficult period, one trait that is, and I say this would be absolutely standard across every chief, is they just get back on the horse, get back on the bike every day. No matter what's happened the day before, they just keep turning up. Keep turning up. And I think back to through COVID, when we were locked down in our houses and we watched our own business get absolutely shot to bits for really about a year and a half. It was just about turning up and trusting that the process would work and that we would come out of it. And it's not saying it was necessarily easy. Man, there were some dark days in there, right? And I've spoken to a lot of chiefs over the last few years who have been in some really, really dark places. And you know where they are today? All back on the horse, taking the lessons, taking the scars and saying, hey, what's the wisdom that I've got from this moment, right? So just keep getting back on that horse and have that grit and that determination that over time, things will work out and you'll be able to build that track record. I've even got one little strategy. This is a bit of a sidebar about getting promoted to the executive team. So over the years now, and I've been working with executive teams really since about 2010 or even a bit before, what I've seen is every couple of years you get this rotation or a shift in deck chairs. Some go, like maybe 2 or 3 people leave, a few people come in, or a new CEO turns up and changes the team. Like executive teams rarely stay together for more than a couple of years, right? So if you're on the edge of that, or even if you are in that executive team, this grit and this resilience to just keep delivering again and again, keep turning up. If you do that, you might well be the last person standing and still be being promoted right at the end to the top job. So just don't forget that. The grass might not always be green as someone else. The grit and determination to learn and nail what's in front of you right now, own your time, get strategic shit done, those 3 things will hold you in fantastic stead. Okay? Number 4 is curiosity. And I think these last two are curiosity and do not major in minor things. Those first 3 things can be a little bit heavy, right? When it's like, get strategic shit done, build your operating rhythm, own your time, have the grit. But it can't all be hard, Chief. There's got to be a level of lightness and enjoyment in this process, because I don't see many chiefs that look like they're absolutely pummeled into the ground and have no energy. That's not what a true chief is. A true chief is someone who's demonstrating flow and absolutely nailing their job, right? So when we start talking about curiosity, this is about coming into a room that might have a big problem at hand or a major project that's right on the edge of success, and having curiosity lead the way rather than tension, rather than this drive to make people do better. Let's be curious about an individual's performance. Ask them how they came to that particular conclusion. Don't do it with some heavy-handedness. Just ask the question out of genuine curiosity. What is the new technology we're using here? Where is the potential risk? What can we learn from our competitors? What can we learn from ourselves? What can we learn from this mistake we all just made? We just got this wrong, Chiefs. Let's just talk through it and work out what we as individuals have got to learn. Reading new books, listening to podcasts, that's curiosity, that's growth. So bring that curiosity to the process. And this is something I'm hearing more and more CEOs on the show and in the real world and coaching environments. They're all talking about curiosity, right? Particularly as AI and big data come on board a lot more, we need to be really on the ball with our curiosity. And Chief, the last one, as I mentioned, it's this little quote that came years ago from Tony Robbins. It says, most people major in minor things. And I think that is a really powerful statement, because the great chiefs, they don't let minor things get in the way. They shrink them down into tiny little issues. Oh, we can solve that. That's easy. And they make the big issues feel like it's easy. And when you can do that, if you go back to take a risk and do something strategic or get strategic shit done, that is a lot easier when you see when you're taking some of the more risky or difficult parts of the business and you're shrinking them down to more manageable things psychologically. So it may be a difficult conversation. Don't build it into a giant, big, difficult conversation. Make it small, make it easy. Remove the pressure and the emotion from the room and make it a minor little problem. Hey, we just need to talk about this thing that happened in that meeting. Hey, what happened? oh, okay, right, let's just talk about, should we be doing that again? How do you think the other person felt? What might you do a tiny bit differently next time? This just makes some of those more challenging environments or problems or conversations just that much easier. And so, Chief, if you do these 5 things, take a risk and get strategic shit done, right? Own your own time and get your own operating rhythm done. As I said, go to chiefmaker.com/operating rhythm for a download. You do those 2 things, you have this grit to keep turning up. You demonstrate curiosity, right? And you make big things small things, right? Make molehills out of mountains, and the whole process will just appear a little bit easier, and you'll drive quite nicely with flow and focus into a bit of a track record and an outcome that you can be proud of. So, Chief, that's the new 5 mindsets. As you know, like if you're trying to build this track record and you're struggling, go to chiefmaker.com/mini-MBA. We built that so you could have the toolkit to do these things on a regular basis. And so you can work with us and other chiefs to build that track record over a 3-month period. It's a really awesome program. People rave about it. Over 100% of people that have ever done the program say they are more confident and tooled up to do their job. So that's chiefmaker.com/mini-MBA. Righto, Chief, that sums it up for this week, episode 300. 6 years. What an awesome opportunity it has been. What a great privilege it's been. And I can't wait for the next